Welcome to day 5 of my landscape photography tour of New Zealand's beautiful South Island. Over the last few days, we have been on journeys that have challenged me in a new way. We have visited some of New Zealand's most beautiful landscapes and witnessed some rare and special moments with beautiful mood and atmosphere. We have pushed the boundaries of my comfort zone by traversing new types of landscapes and with one purpose in mind. Sometimes it is not the photo that changes a photographer, but it is the journey to get there and the legacy that is left behind. Our landscape photography adventure continues today as we travel south following the beautiful mountains of New Zealand's South Island. We say goodbye to the Mackenzie country and Mount Cook. We travel through alpine deserts like this as we make our way to our next destination in the Otago region. And with the hope of experiencing some new challenges. But first, we pay a visit to one of New Zealand's most popular photography locations. Well, look how beautiful this tree is. This is the first time that I've been to this location where I've had water far enough up the lakeshore that there is a bit of a reflection below the tree, and it's looking very beautiful. You'll notice that the tree looks a little bit different from the typical photos you've seen in the past. A couple of years ago, I think the local council trimmed off the tree that comes off quite down low and normally touches the water. They cut that back, don't really know why. Maybe it was just maintenance on the tree and they thought that that branch, if it continued to get wet because it kind of touched the water, it would damage the tree. But anyway, I still think it looks absolutely beautiful. The lake level is not as high as in the winter, so as you can see, the trunk and the base of the trunk is out of the water. So we are here this morning to do some sunrise photography with this beautiful tree, and I'm very happy that we've got some nice reflections. Well, the weather this morning is near perfect. The sun is rising behind you and to your right, which is to my left. So we're going to have front lighting on this tree, but also on those mountains behind it, and we're also going to get the belt of Venus, and also there's some high level clouds off in the distance behind the tree, and hopefully they will catch some nice light. There's hardly any wind this morning, which is producing some very subtle ripples on the lake, and it's looking really nice. So we're all set up and in position now, we're just waiting for the nice light. We've got the Fujifilm GFX 50S2 on the tripod here with a 30mm lens and a polarizer on the front to take some of the glare off the water. I've got two photos in mind this morning. I've got a square crop which will capture the tree and also the reflections of the tree in the water, and then a panoramic photo which will cut out those reflections and will capture more of the trees on the left and some of the mountains on the right. So we're just going to wait for the nice light now and we'll start taking some photos. So as you can see, there is some beautiful twilight reflected light coming down on this landscape now. There are some high level clouds that are throwing some beautiful soft light onto this landscape. So we're going to take our first photo here. We've got our square aspect ratio set up, and we've got the 30mm lens set to f11, ISO 200, focusing on the tree itself, and that is giving us sharpness from 5 meters all the way to infinity with critical focus on the actual tree. 2-second timer. That's looking really nice. Well, it's looking beautiful. I am going to try setting the 30mm lens to f3.5 and focusing on the trees so that we get some sharpness separation from the mountains in the background. So autofocus on the tree, we're going to flick it to manual focus and then just check focus just to make sure that it's nice and sharp. So with the aperture being at f3.5, we don't have as much of a longer shutter speed, so I'm just going to throw in a 3-stop ND filter. I'll just try that. Yeah, that looks beautiful. Some slight ripples on the water. So the nice colour's starting to build on the clouds now, so we're going to flick it to a panoramic, but we're just moving away from the lake edge because with the 30mm lens on I'm too close to the tree for the panoramic aspect ratio. So we'll just move away because we don't need the water in the photo for that. There we go, that looks beautiful. Just need to move slightly to the right. Just need to lower the tripod a little bit just to make sure that we're getting none of that tree interfering with the water. So we've got the camera now set up in a panoramic mode. We've just adjusted the polarizer so it takes off some of the glare on the water. I'm just going to flip on a 3-stop ND filter just to bring the exposure time down a bit so we get a little bit of motion blur in the water. We're now at f8, ISO 200, focusing on the tree. That looks beautiful. So as you can see now, the light is looking really beautiful. We don't yet have any direct light on the tree, but we've got direct sunlight on the mountain in the background, and it's producing some beautiful contrast in the ripples in the mountain. We're also getting some reflected light from those mountains onto the water, which is making it look really nice and warm. So I have now added 2 ND filters, and we've also got a polarizer. I want to maintain my slow shutter speed to get the motion blur, and to do that I need to use all my filters. But it's looking absolutely beautiful. Look at that for a scene. So we are now starting to get some direct light on this tree, and it's making a huge difference. Those warm tones are absolutely beautiful. And we've got some direct light on the trees behind. We've still got direct light on the mountains, obviously, but we've got some quite nice shadows in there, which is giving it just some nice sort of depth to the photo. The sun is rising now, but quite nicely. There's some trees, some pine trees and some other trees behind me that are diffusing the light, so it's not complete direct light, but there is some light getting through, and I just think it's looking absolutely beautiful. So we are now going to take another photo, panoramic still, and we've still got all 3 filters on. f8, I bumped my ISO speed up to 400 just to try that out. I just want to see what it looks like at a 3-second exposure. Yeah, and that looks pretty special. And that looks absolutely beautiful. The lone tree of New Zealand. So as you can see from the surrounding landscape here, we've got the sun rising here through the trees, just there. And there is a shadow that's currently at the base of the tree. So I'm currently waiting for the sun to rise slightly more above the trees behind us so that the trunk and all the leaves have got some nice beautiful warm light on them, like these ones over here. But it is looking very, very beautiful. So now we do have the golden light on this tree and it's looking absolutely spectacular. So we're going to take the photo. Absolutely beautiful. So there we have it, the magnificent lone tree of Wanaka, and we will continue this adventure into the mountains. So I did just come across a beautiful scene that's worthy of a panoramic photo. I made this photo using my 30mm lens, and I just love the orange grass and the layers of the mountains and the peaks and the snow and the glaciers. Clear blue sky, could be a black and white photo, could be a colour photo, I'm not really sure, but yeah, whatever it's be, I hope you enjoy it. Let's continue this adventure. So we've made it to Mount Aspiring Hut, and then we're going to have some food here for tonight's dinner. We're having piri piri chicken, looking forward to that, quick coffee, and then we're going to make our way up this ridgeline behind me here to get above the tree line so we can get some photos of Mount Aspiring, which you can't really see from here, Mount Aspiring and the other mountains, for a nice, hopefully panoramic with some sunset colours. So we'll have some food and then we'll make our way up further up the mountain. Looking forward to it. So one thing I love about New Zealand is how amazing the wildlife can be. There's a pair of keas just over here. It's an alpine parrot and they're beautiful. They're green. Under the wings they have red. And they're very, very inquisitive and also very destructive. They attack anything. And here they would just be playing with some rubber. God knows where they've got that from. So I did just manage to find a composition, and I like it. You can just see behind us here, there's these trees that are just kind of like archways, and the path just runs through, and there's some beautiful ferns down there. My God, that was absolutely grueling. Oh, when I spoke to the Department of Conservation ranger down at the hut, I asked her how long it would take me to get up here, and she asked me how quickly I walked. And the walk to the hut was 9 kilometers, and I told her it took me, I can hardly talk. I I told her it took me about 2.5 hours, and she said it would take me an hour to get to here, and it took me 2.5 hours. Oh my god, but what a view. Absolutely worth it. There we have Mount Aspiring, and we're currently at 1,000 meters, and that sits at just over 3,000 meters. This is amazing. Right, I'm gonna have a drink of water, a cup of tea, and then we're gonna get set up. We've got half an hour left of the light, as you can see. The light is going. I think we've got time to have a break. Whew. So here we have the two peaks that have got last of the light, nice red glow. We've got Mount Aspiring and one on my left, which is your right, just here, which has got some light on it. And I don't want this one to have any light on it, I just want Mount Aspiring to have light on it. So while we're waiting for the light to come down, I'll just talk you through my composition quickly. So here we have the Fujifilm GFX 50S2 on a tripod, obviously, and we've got the 30mm prime lens on because it is quite a wide view that we're trying to capture. And here we have my composition. And as you can see, it's just a very simple but elegant panoramic photo. It's looking beautiful. The light on the right is just about to go, and as you can see, Mount Aspiring is looking very red, so very soon we're going to start taking some photos. Well, the temperature's definitely coming down now a little bit, so we did just manage to get an amazing photo of Mount Aspiring with beautiful red glow on the peak. The settings were ISO 200, f8, focusing on the peak, panoramic. I did a pixel shift as well as just a normal photo. I will edit the photo, I will put it up, I will leave the settings there for you to check out, and I really hope you enjoy this one. Now we're going to wait for the twilight light to come up, and I'm really looking forward to that too. So as you can see, the belt of Venus is now lifting, and there's a bit of a gap there so we can see the curve, and it's straddling the mountain, so it's now time to get our last photo. So here we go. Final photo of the day, ISO 200 f8, 1.7 seconds, focusing on the mountain, 2-second timer. So what I really love about this scene, it captures everything that I'm passionate about: adventure, landscape, mountains. We've got huge mountains, we've got awesome valley with a river, glacial river, a number of glaciers up there in the mountains. Could it get any better than this? Amazing light, yes, maybe some high level clouds, but you know, if you come up into an alpine environment like this, when you're working with peaks that are over 1,000 meters and above, clouds can just kill the scene. So sometimes it's better to plan your shots, plan your photos for when there is relatively clear skies. Awesome scene. So that's it for today's video. I really hope you've enjoyed it. It's been a true adventure, even though it's been a huge hike to get up here. I've really enjoyed it, and I really do think it was worth it to capture this scene, because it is absolutely beautiful, and I can't wait to see these photos and edit them. I will put up what I think are the best photos from today for you to check them out. I hope you enjoy them. Give me some comments, subscribe, like the video, go check out my merchandise on my website, check out my prints, limited edition, and yeah, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. See you next time. Bye for now.